You may not all belong to the Catholic Church, and others may be non-believers, but from the bottom of my heart, I give this silent blessing to each and every one of you, respecting the conscience of each one of you, but knowing that each one of you is a child of God. These powerful words come from a man that has come to change the world, and that each day he keeps surprising us. The first Pope of the Americas, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, also known as Pope Francis, in the last 9 months has immutably impacted the Church, proving that the world is unfair and that the Church should be in the business of helping people. I knew Pope Francis was good, but when I found out everything he did in 2013, I was blown away. I would like to talk about the 3 most important actions I believe that he has done for humanity. No, I believe that are the most important he has done for humanity. First of all, I would like to talk about Pope Francis fighting against church obsessions. On an interview Pope Francis did, he gave shocking news through the Roman Catholic Church, making public his remarks that the Church has grown obsessed with abortion, gay marriage, and contraception methods. He believes that the Catholic Church should take a step back because it is not necessary to be talking about those issues all the time. He also insists that the Church should find a new balance, otherwise the edifice of the Catholic Church is likely to fall. Jorge Mario Bergoglio has talked about his experience in Argentina, about how he used to receive letters from homosexual persons who were socially wounded and who explained to him and who told him that they felt like the Church had always condemned them. And it is true. The Church is always saying that gay marriage is not correct, that contraceptive methods are not correctly to be used. And they are always talking about those topics and those topics. So Pope Francis says that they should not be something important, that he's not coming in favor of those things. He says that the Church's position on those topics is clear, but he says that the love and the saving love of God comes before the moral and that religious imperatives, that they should not be talking about those things and making those people feel like they do not belong to church, that they are against of God. He believes that if a homosexual person, for example, is of goodwill and he's in search of God, then the Pope and the Church and a priest and a bishop is not in any position to judge him. That God in creation, he made every one of us free, and that no one can interfere spiritually in another person. The second thing I believe he has done that is very important and that no Pope has done before is he made a committee on the Catholic Church. It's a commission of 8 cardinals, and he's fighting against child abuse, because there have been many allegations and many cases in which the clerical sex abuse and many children are sexually abused by priests, by bishops, and by the Catholic Church. So there have been many allegations, and people fight against that, and there had been criticism because there is bad responses of the priests about this is not true, there is no sex abuse and children. So Pope Francis finds out about this, and instead of hiding it, he makes it public. He wants, even though there's attention to the church and news and people know about what is really happening inside, he doesn't care. He's fighting against that. He's making this committee to make new rules that fight against that, to give protection to those children who have been abused, who have been sexually abused by someone, and also to make rules that if a priest or if a bishop break those rules, there is a consequence. Because before that, the Church decided to hide that and not make that public, because then it's bad and it's a bad reputation. And instead, he's making something against that, and he's protecting those children. The third action, I believe, is really important, and I believe it's honorable and admirable of him, was a moment in which he kissed Vinicio Riva. Vinicio Riva is a 53-year-old Italian that has neurofibromatosis, which is a disease that makes his face, like in the picture, that is all disfigured. And the first time they met, Pope Francis and Vinicio, his first action of Pope Francis was go hug, even though he didn't know him, he didn't know his name, he didn't know who he was or what he had. He went and hugged him, and he embraced him, and he kissed him, and there was no exchange of words during that happened. But the most honorable thing is that Pope Francis didn't even knew what he had, if it was contagious, if he was sick, or if he was going to get sick too because of touching him. And he embraced him, and he hugged him, and he opened the worlds of everybody that, like, we are all the same, and that Catholics should not run away of those people, because if we see a guy like that, most of all, I'm sure that most of the class would run away, or would not touch him, or would say something, or would look away, or not help. And he says that Catholics should be the first ones to kiss him, embrace him, and concern about people like that. Vinicio Riva gave an interview after that happened, and he said that even though there was no exchange of words and it lasted like just a minute, he felt like it was eternity, and that the most important thing he felt was like the comfort of touch, because no one, like, he doesn't touch him. Nobody ever, like, in several years had approached to him and touched him, and he said, like, feeling someone kiss me and hug me like that way, it's really comfortable. So in conclusion, I believe there's many things that the Pope Francis has done on 2013. He even won the best person and was on on the New York Times magazine, I'm sorry, where they mentioned all the actions that he has done, like kiss people's feet that are on prison, take care of girls who have been raped, and he refused to motorcycles, to money, to limousines, to living on a big mansion and everything. And he has proven that the Catholic Church has grown and has become a business, and they forgot, like, the real meaning of the church, that is helping people, that is making us conscious that he says that the popes and priests should get out one day of the limousines, should get out and walk with the people that he's supposed to be living and helping. Thank you.